The next time you are confronted by someone inquiring of you as to why you would go back into the Old Testament bondage of the law, this week's Torah portion has a good answer for you. Hi, this is Barry Phillips with 10-Minute Torah, Day 2 of the Canaan, and I pleaded. Let's go to Deuteronomy, Devarim chapter number 4, and read verse 1 through 5. Verse 1 says, "And now, O Israel, listen to the laws and the right rulings which I am teaching you to do, so that you live and shall go in and possess the land which Yahweh, Elohim of your fathers, is giving you. Do not add to the word which I command you, and do not take away from it, so as to guard the commands of Yahweh your Elohim, which I am commanding you. Your eyes have seen what Yahweh did at Baal Peor, for Yahweh your Elohim is destroyed from your midst all the men who follow Baal Peor. But you who are clinging to Yahweh your Elohim are alive today, every one of you. See, I have taught you laws and right rulings, so Yahweh my Elohim commanded me to do thus in the land which you go to possess." If we go back to verse 1, there are three things that are listed here that are important for our consideration. We'll touch on a few other things in a few moments. But these three things perhaps could be alluded to in Ecclesiastes 4:12, which says that a threefold cord is not easily broken. And so as we look at this, let's go to the first one, which says, the right rulings which I am teaching you to do so that you live. That is, that you know how to walk before Yahweh your Elohim, how to have your life. When we study the Torah, this is not just sermon fodder for those that are tired of preaching out of the quote-unquote New Testament. It's more than a list of interesting stories. This is foundational to everything that follows after. If you were to take the Torah, the first 5 books of the Bible, and my set of scriptures here, and I'm quickly turning to the beginning of it, getting out of the preliminary stuff. This much. Get it right here. There you go. This much of the scriptures, and there's a lot more to be contained. But this is the scriptures. That right there. Everything that is said afterwards is founded upon, premised upon, an explanation or a expanding of this. If you study this, everything else will make sense. If you don't study this, if you don't understand that part, nothing else will make any sense to you. Not literally. You will be out of bounds and how to put it all together. Be out of balance would be a better way of saying things. The Torah, plainly stated, is Yeshua's personality. It is his character. It is his understanding. It is who he is. It is a revelation, or the revelation of who he is. If you don't understand the Torah, you don't understand who Yeshua is. And that's just a basic fact. You can't start in Matthew and go to the book of Revelation and that be your only understanding of Yeshua and know him. Because he doesn't just appear out of thin air. The storyline of Yeshua doesn't start when a messenger appears to Miriam. It goes way back before that. And all those begats that you just kind of glance over in the first chapter of Matthew, that's telling you he is vitally connected to all of those previous generations, all the way back to creation in the garden. The key to knowing who Yeshua is and to understanding the Torah is to see Yeshua in the Torah. We can pray. I heard one guy say one time, you pray for power and read the red. That is the letters or the words of Messiah that are printed in red in the King James red letter editions. Well, The teachings of Yeshua, if you want to understand them, they're based upon everything that is said previous. He didn't say anything original beyond what the Father had already decreed and declared. He expanded, he enlivened it, he discussed it, but the foundational concepts of what Yeshua taught us to do and how to live are all here in the Torah. So that understood, the Torah is our lifestyle. It's how we do business. It's how we order our communities. It's how we pray for justice in our courts. It's how we raise our children and teach and admonish them to walk uprightly. It's how we love and care for our neighbor. It's how we are good citizens of a country. It's how we go to war. It's how we celebrate our victories. It's about our marriages and the loving and caring of our bride. All of these things are vitally outlined for us and more in the Torah. Secondly, it says, so that you live and shall go in. The Torah teaches us how to go into the land. The word says over in Leviticus, Vayikra, chapter number 18 and verse number 28, so let not the land vomit you out from defiling it as it vomited out the nations that were before you. Here's a very simple principle. Those who live in the land and fail to walk according to the Torah, the land itself will reject them and spit them out. That's just Yah's principle. Now, it's not in an immediate effect, perhaps. Remember, he gave the Amorites 400 years before they were spit out. But they were spit out of the land. If you're going to go into the land of Israel, if you're going to dwell in the land of Israel, you need to be ready to walk according to the Torah and its precepts, because when Yeshua takes us into the land, it will be a Torah-based society. He will rule the earth, and Israel in particular, by the Torah. Thirdly, it says to possess the land. Again, in the possessing of the land, it will be required of us to understand and know the laws of the Torah, the commands of the Torah, because they will be completely in effect. We will, all the men, go up to Jerusalem 3 times a year. All of us. We will go up at Pesach, at Shavuot, and at Sukkot. And it's Passover, Pentecost, and Tabernacles. Every year. For 1,000 years. 1,000 times we will go to Jerusalem. There will be courts of justice, and they will be administered correctly. You will know that when you go into court, or if you are a judge in a court, it will be done and done correctly. Yeshua will see to it. You will bring your offerings to the tabernacle, to the new temple. That's another teaching another time. And it's just understanding that this will be our lifestyle. Finally, let's go down to where it says in verse 4, but you're clinging. Dabach is the Hebrew word here. And it really does mean that you cling to him, that you hold on to him. The key to the Torah is not to weigh you down and burden you with laws that you can't keep up with and you can't understand and you can't properly get a grip on because, well, it's just all those details. No, take your time. Read carefully. Ask for help. And as we study the Torah together, as we break it down, it's teaching us to love Yahweh our Elohim with all of our heart and with all of our being, because we remember that it is he who has brought us up out of whatever Mitzrayim or Egypt looked like for us in our times past. Whatever it was that was holding us in bondage, he's the one that lifted us up. He's the one who sent Yeshua, our deliverer. And so we cling to him. We hold on to him. And the Torah teaches us to do exactly that. Shalom. Hopefully we'll see you again tomorrow.